Clearing out brambles, kudzu, poison ivy, and all kinds of overgrown and unwanted brush can often require chemical control or heavy machinery. Or you could rent some goats.
So we're a landscape company. My mission is to provide an alternative to urban, suburban, and even rural landowners, an alternative to using something that comes in a bottle to solve a landscape issue. Lots of livestock have been used to solve overgrown, weedy spaces for years.
Christy Orcutt is the owner and sole employee of RVA Goats and Honey. She has worked her way up to 60 goats that are rented out to homeowners, golf courses, universities, and other property owners seeking a low-tech solution to their landscape problems. They have a very simple advertising campaign.
Our family was taking a walk down the street and we noticed that a house at the end of the street had a pen with a lot of goats and sheep in it. And there was a sign that basically said, "Don't feed the goats because they're working."
Emma Fulmer says her family has cleared unwanted plants and brush on their own in the past and wanted to avoid scratches and wasp stings this time around. Orcutt's goats seem like a good solution. It turns out a lot of planning goes into a landscaping solution like this.
She was very thorough, very knowledgeable about it. She looked all the way around the property, said, this is what the goats will eat, this is what they will not eat. Careful to stay away from anything that would harm them. She told us what they can do, what they can't do, gave us a figure for the whole project. And then she does pretty much all the work from there.
You can't just show up with some goats and turn them loose. The project area has to be controlled with heavy-duty electric fencing. And sometimes brush has to be cleared a foot on either side by hand to prevent the fence from grounding out.
You can sometimes use the homeowner's existing fencing, like this privacy fence here is perfect, but most homeowners' fences are dilapidated, so you can't trust them to keep your goats in. And so anyway, you've got to have your own electric fences and energizers and ground rods and extension cords and all that stuff. You've got to have a trailer and a way to transport your animals. You got to have a training system so your animals actually get on the trailer, because you don't want to drag every single animal onto the trailer. It's exhausting. So all winter long we work on cues, so the animals just follow me all over the farm. All I do is clap my hands and they follow me.
But once the animals are settled onto a property, Orcutt stands back and lets them do their thing. One advantage to using goats and sheep is they do a more thorough job than other control methods.
Goats and sheep are nibblers. It's sort of like being at a buffet. They want to eat a little bit of everything, and so they'll move around the whole work site. And they'll eat for about an hour, and then they're rumen. Their first chamber of their stomach is full, and they'll all lay down, and they'll regurgitate and chew their cud. And that's when the homeowner or the park manager will call me and say, "They're all laying down on the job." And I have to reassure them that mine are union members, and so that they get breaks certain times of the day. But that's my joke to say, basically, they need to sit and digest and work that through their system.
In addition to being low-tech, goat landscaping is also entertaining for the customers and their neighbors.
It's really fun to watch them because they'll leap up to the trees to get the magnolia leaves. So all of a sudden it'll just go whoop, right up on its hind legs.
Orcutt says she backed into the landscaping business. She has a small farm in Powhatan County and bought a goat to help keep her own weeds down. One success led to another, which led to more goats, more equipment, and more work. Now it's a full-time job for her. She raises hair sheep, a breed that can be sold for meat and doesn't need to be sheared every year. Business is booming thanks to the COVID-19 situation this spring. It's one more reason she enjoys being a small farmer.
Most days I recognize that I'm doing something I absolutely love. And I pretty much pick my own schedule, although I do work 7 days a week and probably 15 hours a day. But it's work, leisure combined, and I am living the life that most people would want to live.
There are plenty of goat landscaping businesses in the Old Dominion, especially near urban areas from Northern Virginia to Richmond to Hampton Roads. Search the internet for goat rental or goat grazing firms and you're bound to find one that will suit your needs. In Richmond, Virginia, I'm Ricky Gibson reporting.